When people come here, they see our sprinklers at work. And they say, oh, damsels of rainbows are dancing on your farm. We thought that place of leprosy is a dirty place, but here we have seen the damsels of rainbow dancing. We say our tears are made of rainbows. That's why they are dancing here. The resolve to change the whole landscape of our life is within this stout heart with a mighty faith.
To live with dignity, confidence, self-respect, ennobled by a humanity, balanced in body, mind and environment, in health. The highest aspirations of mankind, the truest ideals of Earth's religions, and seemingly so elusive as to cause raging philosophical debates, existential inquiry, cynicism and despair. Here in Maharashtra, deep in the heart of India, is a small swath of green in a parched and arid land, where 40 years ago, quietly, without fuss, a man called Murlidhar Devidas Amte dedicated his life, not to grandiose notions of religious or philosophical ideal, but simply to his fellow men. The health of a people, Baba Amte, as he is affectionately known, has said, is measured by the condition of its lost, its last, its least. The fundamental principle of the many revolutions in our planet's turbulent human history, and that final knowledge in the depths of the human heart. What was to become Anandvan was a 25-acre patch of jungle given to Baba by the government of Maharashtra in 1951 to start a leprosarium. Baba, his wife Sadhantai, and their 2 infant sons, Vikas and Prakash, accompanied by 6 leprosy patients, a lame cow, and 14 rupees, less than $1, built this glade of peace with determination, commitment, and compassion as their tools. Today, it is a world that nurtures human potential, sets free the human spirit, brings health to body and environment. It is a statement of that most elusive of achievements, a balanced ecology of mind.
इसको ऊपर का टाइट कर। हाँ अभी तो इधर क्यों पीछे हाँ नहीं बराबर है।
Chandramani was a master carpenter before he contracted leprosy in the jungles of his native Orissa, while on the run from the authorities for his somewhat violent political activism. He lost both fingers and toes to the disease, and if that was not enough, a road accident lost him an arm. But a carpenter, Chandramani is determined to remain. Chandramani has invented a water-cured brick, low in cement, cheap to produce, which could revolutionize low-cost housing in India. From the early days, Anandvan has been much modernized. Water recharging under this dry and difficult land has been undertaken using deep wells, biomass stabilization, integrated energy cycles, and these beamless curved roof houses which Chandramani supervises. They are inexpensive, easy to construct, cool in the summer, and many of the people of Anandvan live in them.
He's a good host. He's a good host. Velvety touch.
The lepra bacillus numbs the nerves. The first indications of infection are insensate patches of skin. The lack of feeling in the body's extremities causes accidents which result in deformities. Ulcers and gangrene develop in untreated cases. Leprosy is the least contagious of all contagious diseases. But as facts about it are not widely understood, the diseased terrify the healthy, and its victims suffer vicious social ostracism.
Had they come earlier, we could have prevented the deformities. Because of the social ostracism and the prejudice, they didn't come to us early. They came so late. He has become a good host. Whole body is infiltrated with lepra bacilli.
Anandvan welcomes all who need to come. Those patients who feel able and ready to rejoin the world are encouraged to do so. Those with memories of humiliation which cannot be erased contribute to the welfare of others. The nurses, those who cook and carry and clean, are leprosy patients. The basic needs of all are met: shelter, clothing, food and medicine. The incapable who live in wards in the hospital are cared for by those more able. Chotibai is a tribal from Jalgaon district. Her husband threw her out when she first contracted leprosy. She has not seen her 4 sons or husband again. Her father and her brother looked after her for many years, but her gangrenous legs were already amputated before she found her niche at Anandvan. True courage is surely the ability to endure, true heroism to rise above life's injustices, and a sane society, one which nurtures such as she.
The joy in Anandvan is much more infectious than the disease in Anandvan. And the courage in Anandvan is much more contagious than the affliction in Anandvan. Happiness is aptly defined as continuous creative activity is happiness. These people who are denied this right to happiness are in search of happiness. And they got it. You can see that beaming faces. And they giving the message to the world that charity destroys, work builds. They saying that we remember him for what is left rather than curse him for what is lost. This is how the philosophy of life should be practiced in life. They are giving dignity to life. They have changed the whole profile. Outcast man and outcast land. Similarly, if a common man decides to change the profile of this world, with his uncommon determination, he can change it. Mao and Gandhi mightily believed in this concept. Common man, you know. नायक नायक की क्या खोज रहे नालायक? नायक तो तुम हो.
For many years, the people of Anandvan were ostracized by neighboring towns and villages. Leprosy was a dread disease. The very air in Anandvan was unclean. Then the victims of this dread disease built 2 universities for the healthy with their numb and disabled hands. Today, students come to this canteen, as do the inhabitants of Anandvan. And you forget as you sit here that those who serve you are the crippled, living close beside victims of leprosy. Baba cannot sit. Constant pain from 6 fused vertebrae in his lower back curtails his activities. He is past 75 now. His hemoglobin count is 8. His pulse rate, 56. His blood pressure, unstable. A year ago, he and his wife Sadantai were in a road accident, and recently he suffered a second heart attack, but he can rest only reluctantly.
The whole thing is concerned with man. I agree with Krishnaji, and all religions say it, that intense passion for love is compassion. When I raise my voice against big dams, I see that I am bruised, uprooted tribal there. One who loses his right to live, and I am with him. For Bharat Jodo also, this disparity, ups in poverty, ignorance, and then some having to face the wants of the morrow, and others don't know how to spend their money. How can India be united like this? Yawning gap between paucity and plenty, between penury and poverty and plenitude. I could not tolerate, so I am out to knit India with a mighty faith in the people. Take heart, unlimited, for the battle.
In 1985 and 1987, Baba, lying in his mobile van, led bicycle marches across the length and breadth of India to create an awareness that the nation need not succumb to divisive forces. As the psyche of India's Sikh community lay scarred by terrorism and communal riots, Baba's was a bold initiative, an affirmation on behalf of all those who cared. Against the advice of the police and security forces, he went into the Golden Temple in Amritsar to plead pacifism and consanguinity to the terrorists, pointing guns at him as he walked in.
Expose, explore, exploit. This is the message. Pursue, persuade, not the gun. Even if the means or the end by the gun is of no use.
Murlidhar Devidas Amte came from a family of wealthy landowners. He trained to be a lawyer. Reacting to the injustices of life around him, he determined to study the little understood disease, leprosy, and committed himself to bringing respect to the rejects of society. This brought him into confrontation with his family. So abandoning his inheritance, with the full support of his wife, Sadantai, he embarked on a life of service which was to ennoble all who came in contact with him. It was raining when Baba saw a leprosy patient. There were maggots coming out of the patient's nose. Baba, with fear in his mind, picked up a gunny sack lying nearby and put it on the patient for protection from the rain. He came home. We were recently married. And he went into deep thought. I am an Abhay Sadhak, the fearless one, he thought. That day, Baba told me all this and said, now I want to work with leprosy patients. I said, yes, I want to do it too. Baba has made no effort to impose a personal creed on those that make Anandvan their home. Their welcome is unconditional. While he has been influenced by Mahatma Gandhi and Vinoba Bhave, and while his own life is austere, Baba's gift to the people of Anandvan is that of secularism, normalcy, and a gentle pragmatism.
La ilaha illallah subhana rabbil ala. La ilaha illallah subhana burhasni sultan. La ilaha illallah subhana samil basir. La ilaha illallah subhana wahidil qara ahad. ला इलाहा इल्लल्लाहु सुभान आलिमिल हकीम ला इलाहा
आकाशवाणीचे नागपूर केंद्र आहे. रेल्वे गाड्यांविषयी सूचना ऐका. प्रथम मराठीतून आणि त्यानंतर हिंदीतून. विभागीय रेल्वे अधिकाऱ्यांकडून आलेल्या सूचनेनुसार पहाटे 4:05 येणारी 138 अमृतसर बिलासपुर छत्तीसगढ़ एक्सप्रेस.
Anandvan is clean, with parks and rose gardens. Cured leprosy patients live normal family lives in small village clusters. Here, they live with dignity, with a cleanliness of spirit, body and environment, rare in the world outside. The people keep their own homes and villages spotless. Work earns them wages, which they spend on whatever they like. Small community stores sell them household items. That people, disfigured with leprosy, would want to buy beautifying cosmetics is to Baba a complete validation of his work. Anandvan has nurseries, many nurseries. Seedlings are tended here by the thousands, by those rejected by their own children, and by those who may not have any. They are used in biomass stabilization in Anandvan, carried out in an entirely scientific and rational manner, and for sale to neighboring villages and towns. The commitment to the greening of Anandvan is total.
दुनिया को संदेश देंगे ये लोकमाता हमारी माता है.
Baba has a puckish humor. He has had erected behind his house a monument to an anonymous tree. Visiting forest guards receive a resounding oratory on the sanctity of trees.
I listen to the whispering of this anonymous tree from my flowered bed. I have experienced the drowsiness of every autumn and passions of every spring. Hence, I do not seek dust in shame and loneliness. Why do you? जीवनामध्ये मी शिशिराची सुस्ती आणि वासंतिक मस्ती उपभोगली आहे. त्यामुळे जमिनीवर मी कोसळून जरी पडलो, मातीत मिळालो तरी मला ना खेद आहे ना खंत आहे. Constructive work without politics is sterile, and politics without constructive work is impotent. Both are not good things. Anand is trying to practice both.
He demonstrates his commitment to this in his protests against the displacement of the tribal Madiagons deep in the mountains of Gadcholi. Here at Hemal Khasa,